ABC KinderTeach presents Flawed Dogs, written by Berkeley Breathed. And when they say flawed, it means there is something wrong with them. Please use appropriate discretion. Please preview this video to determine if it is suitable for your children or students. There is a bit of crude humor in this, so please be forewarned. Piddleton, Vermont. Population 327. People 243. So what they're saying is there is a lot of dogs in Piddleton, Vermont. Not many people, but a fair number of dogs. Enter Heidi's Gallery of Champions for 2004. And this is the Piddleton Last Chance Dog Pound. Dogs are available. Come in and browse, which means come in and look around. Bipsy. Bipsy was bought to replace the dearly departed Sweet Face. So here's Bipsy, and the dog they had before was named Sweet Face, which looks like it up here, and it was really loved by the family, and then it passed away. A beauty in blues with some parts chartreuse, she clashed with the whole bloody place. So chartreuse looks a lot like this. Sometimes you might say it looks like this. And so the dog has some greenish, bright greenish to its look. And they said it just didn't go with the furniture. It looked kind of funny with the furniture. Noodles. Noodles never understood the line his tongue was crossing when he roamed the neighborhood and did his mental flossing, which means cleaning with his skinny tongue. So he has this really, really long tongue, and he sticks it in one ear and it comes out the other, and it sticks in the other person's ear and comes out the other ear. So it's kind of disgusting. And of course, he really couldn't do that, but it's just for fun. Tina. If Tina were a rhinoceros, she wouldn't seem so preposterous, which means unbelievable and silly. But then she ain't, hence the complaint. So this dog looks a bit like a rhinoceros, but it's not. And the postman must have saw Tina and said, "Wow, I never saw a dog like this," and he passed out from being surprised. Lulu. Lulu was no looker, not very pretty. An awkward nightingale, a very nice dog. To the pound they took her, accessorizing failed, which means they tried to dress up Lulu, but no matter what they did, she did not really look very good. And so they took her back. Not a nice thing to do, right? Because it does look like a sweet dog. Rollo. Sister Sue was slow to see the spots on gentle Rollo, but after Bishop noticed he, Sister strolled on solo, which means she got rid of the dog and walked on by herself. And see, there's a picture of a person on the dog, so they thought, we can't have a dog like that running around. Titus. Titus was a birthday gift from Bubba's mama, Wenty. Bubba wanted a bulldog mix and got one mixed aplenty, which means a dog that came from many, many different types of dogs, like a part bulldog and part poodle and some other types of dogs. Jeeves. Flimsy Jilgawky. Flimsy means not very strong or sturdy. There she is. Picked Jeeves for his jowls, the lower part of his jaw, then moved to Milwaukee where winds always howl. One day on a walkie she threw in the towel, which means she gave up on the dog because the dog was always going into the air because the jowls were so big. Of course, this is not real. Pete. The Bibbles found they could no longer quibble, disagree about a little thing. The problem with Pete went past iffy kibble, which means the dog's gas problem was not caused by just bad dog food. There's something possibly wrong with the dog, and so that's what that is. Pepe. Pepe has set his crossed eyes on winning a dog show grand prize. He looks in the mirrors and glamour appears, looking pretty. He'll win when a pig up and flies. Since pigs don't fly, it will never happen. So whenever Pepe looks in the mirror, he thinks he's a really good-looking animal or person, but he really is not. Willy Wonker. A pup we'll call Willy Wonker was left by Helen from Yonker, which is a place in New York. For size, he's middlin', not big or not small, but loves his nibblin'. He could not resist Helen's honker, or her nose, and so there he is up in the nose. Kind of disgusting, but very, very small dog. Buttercup. Before Babs went to heaven, there's Babs, she got tightened up, nips and tucks counting 7, which means she had her face done. Same for Buttercup. So she had her face tightened up, and they did the same thing to the dog. So this is what Buttercup looked like before, and this is what he looked like afterwards, and not a good thing to do for a dog, but still he looks a bit silly, doesn't he? Heather. Meet Heather with plenty of hair. She figures it's better than Bear, so she figures it's better to have hair than no hair. Miss Pot kicked her out, for she had a doubt, was not sure, whether any of Heather was there. So she was worried that there was not even a dog there because it was all hair. And when she sticks her finger in, it just goes right through. Ibu. Ibu came completely loaded, a perfect pet with plug, which means they plugged him into the wall when they needed to charge him up. But out of the box he downloaded, he went to the bathroom, right there upon the rug. Ben. The Finns wanted twins, but got only Mackin. There's Mackin. So in came dear Ben, whose looks were found lacking, not very pretty. A flop as Finnkin, poor Ben was sent packing. They sent him away because he did not look very good, which not very nice. Sal. Here's Sal. It seems no one wants her. Her ends will stroll off and wander, which means the body is so long that the tail end was doing different things than the head. And so this is one dog. It goes all the way around. A long doggy weenie, and a dachshund sometimes called a wiener dog, and that's what a real dachshund looks like. Of noisy linguini, a barking dog that looks like a long noodle. Sal barks at her butt way down yonder. So, way down yonder just means a long ways away. So, it sees its own behind and starts barking because she thinks it's a different dog. Barney. Barney's pal had lived to autumn, the fall, when his years just up and caught him, which means he got old. Not Barney, but his owner. Now Barney wonders who will want him with Elvis Presley on his bottom. So his owner tattooed Elvis Presley all over him. And his owner was a person who did tattoos. And his owner was called Leonardo da Vinci. So he tattooed the dog. Not a good thing to do, but makes for an interesting looking dog in the picture. Spanx. There's something about Spanx that no one dismisses or ignores. This dog don't bark but quite often hisses. So it makes a hissing noise, not a barking noise. Don't fetch no ball, doesn't fetch, but eats tuna fishes. Tuna fish. We'll say it right here. Something's amisses, or not quite right about this dog. Sam the Lion. Sam the Lion, a mystery past. No one knows what happened to him earlier in his life. A stray from East Soho. That's a homeless dog who lives in New York City. A refugee from research labs, escaped from a lab where they did experiments on dogs. The rest we cannot know, except the day he rose to win Westminster Best in Show, which means won first place in a big dog show. One brief and golden moment then, and that just means a great time in his life that did not last long. They saw 3 paws below. So they thought, well, this is a great dog. And then they probably took the prize away from him because they realized that he didn't have a 4th leg, that he had this old golf club stick instead. Oh, he does look like a nice dog, though. So in this world of the simple and odd, the bent and plain, the unbalanced bod, which means an unusually shaped body, the imperfect people and differently pawed, some live without love, that's how they're flawed. So the really, I think, saying is, even if you look different, it's okay that you still can be loved and you should be loved by other people.